Welcome back to the Dorian Finance Podcast. If you're new to my podcast, it's about finance, business, and much more. We're going to talk about what I learned in college about marketing and my YouTube and TikTok analytics. I'm Dorian, and I'm thrilled to be your guide on your path to your financial freedom. Let's get started right by following my podcast. It's not what you do that makes you rich, but how you do it that makes you rich. First, what is marketing? The definition is selling of products or services, the business activity of presenting the product or service to potential customers in such a way to make them eager to buy. Marketing includes matters such as the pricing, the packaging of the products, the creation of demand by advertising and sales campaigns. Marketing mix variables, like I already talked about: products, pricing, distribution, promotion. Products is anything tangible that you can buy and use. The price is your price for your product the same as your competitor? Is it higher or lower? And all of that factors into common sense of buying. Distribution is channels such as Walmart, brick and mortar stores, Amazon, online stores, word of mouth salesmen, which is direct sales, that type of thing. Promotions is, I'm going to sell my product at an extremely low discount for new customers or extremely high normal price. Those are promotions, anything that can vary, and that is more like a word of mouth, something to advertise. That's why online marketing has a lot of promotions where if you're an affiliate, you get a 10% off coupon versus the website to get people to buy through your link versus just going to the normal direct website itself. Now, marketing strategies, a plan of action for identifying and analyzing a target market and developing a marketing mix to meet the needs of that market, reflects overall directions of the organizations, and it's also the coordination with the firm's fundamental functions, such as the marketing objectives and the organization goals, such as the marketing goal of growth or exposure and the organization goal of survival, that type of thing. And then moving on to more of marketing, the components of a marketing strategy is finding or selecting a targeted market, which is a group of individual people that have a commonality, same interest. Say certain people just want to buy Pokemon cards or something. That's a target market that you want to target to make sales for any product that can relate to that group. Then the next is creating the marketing mix, which does a mix of the product, price, distribution, and promotion of it, and then having a sustainable competitive advantage. A competitive advantage is, say, Coke or Pepsi having nearly 100% of the bottles in a grocery store. That's their competitive advantage. I also learned the SWOT analysis, which is strength, weakness, opportunities, and threat analysis, which that goes through many different business courses. Talk about that because you want to use your strengths to cover up your weaknesses and use your strengths to conquer an opportunity, and also use your strength to cover up your threats. And then core competency. Things a firm, a business, whatever you do, extremely well or relatively well, which gives you an advantage over your competitors. Market opportunity, which my dad always looked at that as when is there a circumstance where the timing matters when there's a new product in the market. For example, iPhone, the smartphone, you could literally buy it and sell it on eBay for more than you bought it, and that was a market opportunity at the time. And then certain times it changed. Now it's going towards AI. Those are market opportunities. And then competitive advantage we already talked about, which is a company matches their core competency with the opportunity in the marketplace to make a competitive advantage. Then you have lifetime value for a customer, which is really mathematical way of saying how much is this customer worth, and you can actually use that as a financing, selling the customer account, which that's what gyms would do, is say the customer's lifetime value that they're going to be at the gym for at least 5 years paying the annual, will sell this customer's account, the billing, for 80% of that 5-year value up front. And that can be very profitable for a gym owner to do. And it can also be very bad for the person who bought it, because a lot of gym goers, even though the average is 5 years, some will not stay the 5 years. So they're betting that they're getting a 20% profit off of average that might not exist, and they just paid 80% up front, which the calculation for the lifetime value for a customer is a designated rate by using average sales, the average price of sales, the net present value of the discount of the cash flow minus revenue stream over time. And there's many different calculations you can use with this. I just talked about the gym one as an example because I knew about it. Then the benefits of marketing research. It facilitates a strategic planning, which is really, you have a thesis of your marketing plan. So you want to do research so that you're not marketing or selling something that there's not a market for. And really you're looking at it as figuring out what's the opportunities, the threats of this potential marketing product or service, or just the marketing strategy to begin with. Then determining if it's feasible or not of the strategy, and it improves the marketer's ability to make decisions. Those are the benefits of marketing research. Most videos on YouTube, on TikTok, on how to start a YouTube channel, how to start a blog, how to start a social media influencing, they all talk about market research first, or finding your niche. Those are all finding your marketplace, for finding your targeted market. That's what that is. The marketing research process is a 5-step process, which is locating and defining the problems of a research issue. Step number 2, designing the market research project, collecting data, interpreting the research findings, reporting the findings, and how it works. That's really finding a problem, determining a way to research the problem, collecting data, interpreting data, and then creating a way to improve the findings. So it's the whole thesis way of doing things. And then you have AIDA, consumer buying decision-making model, which is attention, interest, desire, action, and interaction, which that goes over quite a bit. Moving on to e-marketing, digital media, and social networking. And the top 13 social networking sites in 2023, which I kind of disagree because it doesn't have TikTok on there, are Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, which is now X, WhatsApp, which I don't consider to be a social network, Pinterest, Reddit, which is going IPO this year. Good luck for them. Tumblr, Flickr, Snapchat, which was lower, which I was shocked to see it was very low, LinkedIn, Tagged, which I've never heard of, which I might use. Meetup.com, I used that back in 2010 to be an organizer for a tennis meetup, tennis league, and a racquetball league. It was pretty fun. And talking about social networks, it just becomes a more of another distribution channel for marketers to market their message to their potential customers. Then there's blogs, which is a web-based journal through which a author can edit, interact with others, users. 2/3 of internet users read blogs, which blogs are moved away from the journal idea, and it's really just an interactive website. Then there's podcasts like the one you're listening to right now, which can be audio or video format, which you download to your MP3 player or your personal computer, or use an app like Spotify, or watch it on YouTube, depending on where the podcast is delivered from. Or some podcasts, you go to the podcaster's website directly to download their podcast. Those are all just different ways a podcast is used. Digital marketing differs from traditional marketing in 5 key ways: addressability, interaction, accessibility, connection, control. And those are all, okay, you can interact with someone. Say it's an ad on Netflix and it says you want to buy this product right now, we'll ship it to your house. And it literally has a buy button on it. You click it if you're on your computer and go to the website right then there, and you put in your information and you just bought the product. Versus a normal traditional ad like a newspaper or TV ad is, okay, you have to go to a website and do it that way instead of the clickability and the speed of it. And that's really that. The control of it is you can target your audience, especially on Facebook or YouTube or Google, of where you want the audience to be from. The connection you can do quite well. The accessibility, interaction, like I already said, are all different than traditional media. And then this, I will actually make a video on as well, is the stages of product life cycle, which is, it's 4 steps. Some people teach it in 5, but in my book, it was literally taught in 4, which is the introduction stage, where it's a brand new product. No one knows about it, and you're introducing it to customers. You're doing a lot of sales pitch to get into the marketplace, and you're getting first-time adopters into it. Then you have the growth stage, which means that people can recognize it somewhat. They might not have tried it, but you're getting a lot more customers. You're almost at your peak, which the 5-step one would have a peak, but it moves into maturity, which is you're got all the sales that you can get for this product and you're starting to decline. And then the 4th stage is you're declining in sales and you're dying, which can be almost any product. You can use a VCR tape, which some people don't even know what that is. Cassette player, some people don't know what that is. Are all products that went to the decline stage where they're losing sales and they need to either change, innovate, or take the profits that they made in their growth and matured stage to make another product or find a new investment to keep their cash flow going. And that's a huge topic, and that is also a lot of business books too, and it's a crucial function of any company that is a product manufacturer. And this life cycle can be within 6 months, and that can be also, it takes 6 months for your competitors to say, oh, there's an actual market for this, now I'm going to get into it and going to make something out of it and be a competitor to you. Examples of that could be the iPhone was the first smartphone, which allowed you to connect to the internet, which back in the day, people paid $1,000, which now they pay $2,000 for the newest ones, for the iPhone 2G to connect to the internet. And that was mostly doctors and stockbrokers that wanted to be connected to the internet no matter where they were, and they were willing to pay $1,000 for the smartphone, which is actually given away for free with your cell phone service now. Or the iPad. People thought, okay, what is this thing? There's no market for it. There were a lot of jokes about it being like, it's a big phone. Why would someone buy it when they just have their phone or they have a laptop? And it became a marketplace, and within 6 months, Sony, Samsung, Google all created their own, and Amazon all created their own tablets within 6 months of Apple proving that it was a viable marketplace. And that's usually the life cycle can be within 6 months of before you have competition that you have to really get the market, or you will have a lot of competitors. Facebook has a life cycle too of there's many new social networks now coming about. Some are niche, some are better, like TikTok came about. That is shocking the world right now. Now moving on to the term brands or branding. And a brand can be a name, a term, a design, symbol, or other features that identifies a marketer's product is different from those of other marketers' products. Example of a name is Trump. Trump licenses names on buildings and products all over the world. A term could be, which is not used as much, but it was a commercial of, oh, what is this thing? And their friend being like, just Google it. That was a term that Google used. Or a design could be the Pepsi can, the Coca-Cola can, and the logo, the symbol can be the Nike logo is a symbol. Those are all examples of a brand. A brand creates brand loyalty. It is a customer's favorable attitude towards a specific brand. A degree of brand loyalty, brand recognition. Buyer is aware that a brand exists and considers it as an alternative if the preferred brand is unavailable. And the next stage is brand preference. A buyer prefers the product over the competitive offering and will purchase it if it's available. And then the third stage, which every brand in existence wants, brand insistence. Product is strongly preferred. Buyer will only accept the preferred product and no other substitutions, such as, do they have Coke at this restaurant? No, they have only Pepsi. Okay, then I won't have a Pepsi, I'll have a water then. 4 elements of brand equity, which a lot of financiers talk about brand equity, and that is brand name awareness. You know what Pepsi is, you know what Coke is, you know what a McDonald's restaurant is. That's the awareness. Brand loyalty. I already talked about Coke and Pepsi. If I'm at a store, I'll buy a Coke over Pepsi 9 out of 10 times. Perceived brand quality. When you see a brand name like Nike, let's go to clothing, Nike, Under Armour, you think it's better quality than the competitors. And then brand association to it, which is you can associate with Trump's brand, which he talks about, is I want the best of the best is the only thing I sell. My hotels are the best of the best. And that is brand association, which that's what the buyers of his hotel rooms want is, and that's what he did, which is brand loyalty, brand equity, that type of thing. And this was actually only half of what I learned in the Principles of Marketing course I took in college, and I'm going to talk about more if you guys want more. Moving on to my YouTube analytics for February 4th, 2024 to March 18th, I got 75 views and about 1 hour of watch time, and I had 0 increases in subscribers. And I haven't really done any video whatsoever for the last 3 months, and I wanted to see if there would be a continual amount of video views on the channel or not, which potentially just killed my channel, but I wanted to test that out. Moving on to my TikTok analytics for the same time frame, which they changed it from video views to post views, so I'll just call it that. And I got 2,600 views for the same time frame as well, which was a 14% down. And then profile views was 175, which is almost a 10% up. Followers, I gained about 64 followers, which was almost a 21% increase. Likes for the same time frame was about 40, which was almost a 5% decrease. Comments 7, which was a 50% decrease. Unique viewers was 2,200, which was an 18% decrease. Shares was 2. Total followers 375. And that was so very cool seeing that TikTok was increasing. Even though I haven't been really posting that many videos as well, I wanted to test it out as well. Please follow my podcast. Please follow me on social media. Thank you for listening to the Dorian Finance Podcast.